Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss about the Buddhist art forms. So the three Buddhist art forms are the Gandhara, Amaravati and Mathura. Coming to Gandhara art, the Gandhara school of art started with Indo-Greeks and reached its perfections under Kushanas. It flourished in Afghanistan with the main centers Kandahar, Kabul, Herat and Sialkot in Pakistan. The art was essentially Greece-Roman in appearance and Indian in spirit. In this art, the Buddha is seen either as a Greek warrior or Greek philosopher with Greek ethnic features like well-developed body, broad shoulders, sharpness, thin lips, curly hair touching the shoulders. The Buddha looks like God, Apollos of the Greeks. In some of the images, we find the Buddha looking like a Greek philosopher with an overgarment covering his left shoulder with foldings or drapings. Invariably, the Buddha is found in standing posture with a sign of pointed fingers. The best specimen of the art is the standing Buddha images at Bamiyan called Bamiyan Buddha statue destroyed recently by Taliban. Next, coming to Mathura School of Art. It developed in and around UP with its main center at Mathura. The art was developed by the Shungna dynasty. It's completely native and is free from the influence of Greek and Roman tradition. Spirit and theme wise, it is a folk art. In the art, we find the Buddha in deep meditation in the sitting posture. Unlike the Gandhara art, where Buddha is seen with well developed body, in the Mathura art he is found with thin body. The unique aspect of the school is Jnana Chakra or wisdom wheel behind the head of Buddha. As it is an art developed by the Shungna dynasty, we also see the images of Naga, Yaksha and Gandharas in this art. Next, coming to Amaravati School of Art. It flourished in Andhra Pradesh with Amaravati in Guntur district as its main center. The art was developed by the Shatavahana dynasty and reached perfection under Ishwakas. Of the three art forms, it is the most beautiful, decorative, and highly expressive. Beautiful because all the major events in the life of the Buddha are beautifully depicted. The material used is costly white limestone, which naturally makes the art look beautiful. Extensive use of flowers and creepers make the art look decorative. We find yakshas and gandharvas dancing around the Buddha. The Amravati sculpture is known for reflecting inner emotions and is using symbolic expressions. The historic importance of the art is that it became basis for the Hindu temple art. And now the impact of Buddhist art and architecture on Hinduism we'll see. The Hindu temple art and architecture was to a greater extent influenced by Buddhist traditions. The mandapa in the Hindu temple is just the same as that of the Chaitya. Similarly, Garbhagriha in the Hindu temples is borrowed from the Buddhist Chaityas. Vedika in the Buddhist stupa had become the platform in the Hindu temple for installation of an idol, just as Pradakshina in the stupa. Place is provided in the Hindu temple at the Sanctronium Garbhagriha. Just as the stupa, Hindu temples also have four entrances. The Ayukastambhas in the Buddhist stupas, Dvajastambhas are installed in Hindu temple at the entrance. In the art forms, in Buddhist art, we find decorative motifs like lotus. Same is found on walls of the Hindu temple too. The depiction of sacred animals, horse and elephants in the Buddhist construction is also seen in Hindu temple art. The idols in the Hindu temple were made on the basis of the early images of the Buddha. In this regard, the Hindu temple art was definitely the product of Buddhist forms. And now next coming to Buddhist literature. King Vattagaman of Ceylon was the first to write in Pali language. He wrote Attakatha, Maharma composed Mahavamsham. Malindapana is the most important Pali text. Coming to Sanskrit literature, in Buddhism, Sanskrit started with Mahayanism from 1st century AD. Ashwagosha was the first Sanskrit scholar. He was a poet cum singer, short writer teller and an excellent dramastic. He wrote Buddha Charitra, the first kavya in Sanskrit literature. And next, Seriputra Prakarana is the first drama. This deals with conversion of Seriputra into Buddhism. Sundaranandana was commentary on the Buddha by Gandistotra Katha, and Ashwagosha and Pashwa wrote Mahavibhashya, a commentary on Buddhist philosophy. Acharya Nagarjuna was the greatest Buddhist scholar, wrote as many as 26 commentaries. His text Madhyamaka Siddhanta became the basis of Mahayanism. His Arogya Manjari deals with medicine. He was the first alchemist. His text Rasaratnakara deals with chemical properties. He wrote a detailed letter to his friend Yagneshri Shatakarni called Shruhul Eka. He founded the philosophy called Sunyayuda, theory of nothingness or voidness. The ideas of him are quite similar to that of Einstein. As such, he is called Einstein of Hind. Arya Sangha wrote Shutralankara. He founded the philosophy Yogacara. And next, Maitreya Nanda, another student of Nagarjuna, founded the philosophy Vijnanavada. Vasubandhu is the Buddhist scholar, wrote Abhidhamma. Dignaga wrote Pramana Samuchaya, and Dharmakirti was the first to introduce logic, which means Tarka, in Buddhist literature. Very similar to Immanuel Kant, a great German philosopher. Dharmakirti wrote Nyaya Bindu. Bindu Gosha went to Ceylon, gathered the original Pali text, wrote Vishuddhi Megha, the most standard text for both Mahayanist and Hinayanist. His other text, Chullavaga, deals with Buddhist architecture. And that's all for the architecture and literature of the Buddhist. Thank you. Have a nice day.